Ever since its release in 2023, the Elgato Prompter has been the top pick for YouTubers and live streamers. Everyone swears by it. But Neewer just released their X11 and honestly, it looks almost identical. So in this video, we're going to put them head to head and find out which really wears the crown of being best teleprompter for YouTube. Now, no one wants to spend hours building gear and reading confusing manuals, so our first comparison needs to be showing you how easy it is to put both of these together. First, the Elgato Prompter comes pretty much ready to go straight out of the box. I'm choosing the option to hang the prompter onto my lens, so I swapped out the back plate, found the thread to match my lens and slotted it in. No build-in, no fiddly parts. The whole setup took less time than brewing a coffee. The Neewer needed a few parts connecting together, but honestly, it was intuitive and still only took me a few minutes. Connecting them to my computer was just as simple. Both of them used just a single USB cable. But here's where things start to differ. The Elgato runs on its own software. So in order to fire it up, you need to download and install the Elgato Camera Hub software. But it's actually a pretty nice app, as you're going to see in a minute. The Neewer works like a regular monitor. Plug it in via USB and it's on. Just go into your display settings to position it and you're ready to go. But while we're getting hands-on, let's talk about quality, because no one wants a teleprompter that feels like it'll fall apart before you finish your first video. Handling both of these, the Elgato feels really solid, mounted on the lens like this. Now, if you choose to use the back plate for your camera, then as you can see, it does get a little bit wobbly. And there needs to be a washer or something for your camera to mount onto, unless I'm missing something. But as it comes all pre-assembled, there's really nothing to rattle or wobble around here. You pick it up and it just feels solid, like the kind of gear you'd trust to not let you down mid-shoot. The Neewer, on the other hand, surprised me if I'm honest. It's a bit more flexible. There's a lot more movement in there with the camera sitting on the back, and that display could be a bit snugger in its frame. Now, it's not going to affect how it works, but it just feels a bit cheap. Like the difference between a sturdy suitcase and one you'd be worried might burst open at baggage claim. But let's be honest, the most important part isn't just how it feels in your hands, it's that screen that's projecting your script up in front of your camera. So how do they compare when it counts? Looking at both side by side, you'll notice a slight color shift on both screens. But honestly, it's not a deal breaker. Both displays are clear and easy to read. The Elgato has a resolution of 1024 by 600, while the Neewer comes in at 960 by 540. Now, on paper, there's a difference, but in real use, you'd struggle to tell them apart. They both get the job done. Now, if you were paying close attention, you might have spotted something about the display sizes. Even though both teleprompters have the same size monitor and glass, the Elgato tilts back a bit, which means it picks up an area at the front of the monitor, the rug on the floor in my case, and there's no way to fix it, and it feels just like wasted space to me. The Neewer, on the other hand, uses the full screen. Everything is visible and it seems to fit much better. So up till now, it's been a pretty close match. You might even think that these two teleprompters have come out of the same factory, but here's where things get interesting, because when it comes to actual performance, the differences really start to show. For me, there are two main things that I use a teleprompter for. First, I use it for Zoom calls and keeping eye contact with the person that I'm talking to. And secondly, I use it to record videos like this, where I need a script right in front of me. So let's look at both scenarios and see which one actually makes life easier. To share my Zoom window or any other window, I need to arrange my monitors. So on my Mac, I just go to my system preferences, I go to displays, and I click to arrange them. Then I position the teleprompter above the main monitor, and then I can just drag things straight up there. It's fantastic. Both the Neewer and the Elgato handle this the same way. But here's the difference. There's no software needed with the Neewer. Plug it in, drag your window, and you're done. With the Elgato, you need to fire up the app and potentially switch between the display mode and the text mode. It's not a huge deal, but it's an extra few steps, especially if you don't have the app open. If all you want is the ability to push your Zoom calls up in front of you and keep eye contact, or put some bullet points and things up there, the Neewer wins here for simplicity. But what if you want to use a script? And before you say, I don't use a script, it sounds wooden, I just wing it. Let me let you into a secret. Most top YouTubers are working off of a script. They plan, they write, and it keeps their videos sharp and engaging. Even if you think you're better without one, work with a pro coach and they'd have you working from a script in no time. Viewers prefer it, your retention will go up, and once you get used to it, you will never look back. So let's see how these two handle scripts. For the Neewer, you download the Neewer app, copy and paste your script, tweak the layout, press start. That'll give you another window then that you can drag up to your teleprompter, and then you'll notice that the other one's changed to some basic controls for scrolling the speed, margins, and a handy text locator that highlights the line where you're reading. There's no voice activated scrolling, there's no fancy formatting of individual words or anything like that, just the basics. But it works. In the Elgato app, switch from display to text and your teleprompter instantly switches to script mode. There's no dragging windows from one screen to another. Copy your script in and it's right there in front of you. But editing inside of the app can be a little bit buggy. More times than not for me, the screen will sometimes jump around as I'm trying to edit words, so I recommend editing it elsewhere first. But once set up, you can adjust the margins, font size, color, and set highlight text that works similar to Neewer's text locator, and you can just set the height where your lens is, and as text scrolls up past that, it just dims out. There is a voice sync feature that's supposed to scroll as you read, but honestly, I've never had it working for me. Maybe it's my British accent. We're going to put it to the test in a bit. My favorite feature though, you can reduce the opacity of the script and actually see the screen behind, which is super handy if you want to see the output while you're recording. I'm doing it right now and I can see myself behind there and the script is overlaid in front of it. So you're getting the idea now. The Neewer is a simple plug and play monitor that lets you use any apps and drag them up there, and they do provide their own teleprompter app for free that you can use. While the Elgato offers more than just a monitor, it's built around its prompting software with features that can really help if you're working from a script. Now, if both of these built-in apps feel a bit limited, because at the end of the day, we're just talking about an extra monitor up here, there's nothing stopping you from trying a third-party teleprompter app. For example, if you love the idea of having your script automatically track your voice so that you never have to mess around with scroll speed and pausing and rewinding and things like that, there's one app that gets recommended everywhere, and that's Prompt Smart. So I thought, let's put Prompt Smart on my Neewer and see how it stacks up against Elgato's voice sync. I've loaded the same script into both. Here goes.
First, the Elgato Prompter comes pretty much ready to go. I choose to hang this on the front of my lens, so I swapped out the backplate, found the thread to match my lens and slotted it on. No building, no fiddly parts, the whole setup took less time than brewing a coffee.
Wow, that demo shows not only how unreliable Elgato's voice sync is, but just how smooth Prompt Smart can be. Plus, with Prompt Smart, you can customize your script however you want. Change individual words' colors, bold them, underline them, all those handy visual cues that make reading a script so much easier. But here's the catch. Prompt Smart comes with a fairly hefty price tag. It's $99 a year for a subscription. And we're going off topic slightly, so let's bring it back and talk about the thing that you're itching to know. How much are these going to set you back? Don't you just hate it when you're falling in love with a piece of gear only to find out that the price tag is so high it shatters your dreams? Well, good news, that's not happening today. When you consider how much of a difference a teleprompter makes, letting you keep perfect eye contact on your videos, on your calls, this is honestly a game changer. I couldn't imagine recording without using one now. So what's the investment for this kind of transformation? The Elgato is $280 for the prompter, although keep an eye out because I've definitely seen it come way below that in the sales. This new Neewer X11 has a retail price of $260, but right now it's on their website and you can grab it for just $170. That is a huge bargain. So if you're still feeling torn about which way to go, let's quickly run down the pros and cons of each of these. For the Neewer, there's the price. It's the cheapest option. There's simplicity. It works as a straightforward monitor that you can position right in front of your screen. No complicated setup. For the build, it's not as solid as the Elgato, but everything's secure, and honestly, that's not going to affect your video. And flexibility, there's a bonus here because you can also use your phone as the camera with this teleprompter. For the Elgato, yes, it's more expensive, but you can see where the money's gone. It's solid and the software is powerful. For the setup, there's a little more involved with the Elgato, but I really like the app once you get the hang of it. Integration. Now, here's something I haven't mentioned. Because this is from the same folk who make the Stream Deck, you can control almost everything with the click of a button, or in my case right now, the tap of a pedal. That's how I'm using it. My script is scrolling up in front of me, and if it gets away from me, I just tap on my pedal to pause it, and I can pull it back down, click again to start it. Now, I promised I'd tell you which of them I'm going to be keeping, and for me, it's going to be the Elgato Prompter, partly because I'm used to it. And even with those quirks and bugs with the app, I kind of know what to do with it and work around it. But for me, it really comes down to that Stream Deck integration that just fits so well for me, allowing me to click these pedals while it's scrolling. Although one thing I am keen to try is using both of these together. So I've got scrolling text on the Elgato and then mirroring that screen across to the Neewer, so that I can actually jump between two cameras and have the same script running on both of them. But what about you? Which one do you think is the better fit? Honestly, they're both excellent choices. There's no absolute winner here. It all comes down to your priorities and how you'll be using it. Ultimately, any teleprompter is a huge upgrade that can help you take your videos to the next level. And if you want to see more home studio upgrades that I couldn't live without, check out this video next.